Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat?
No surprise where we will begin. Tyrann Mathieu has called it a career. 12 seasons in the NFL. Obviously, his time at LSU, the last 3 of those 12 seasons coming with the New Orleans Saints, a Super Bowl champion, a 3-time All-Pro, a 3-time Pro Bowler. What a career for Tyrann Mathieu. Wow. I was caught very off guard by this news today. I think we all knew Tyrann Mathieu was going to retire a Saint. Tyrann Mathieu had made that abundantly clear that that's what he wanted to do, especially when he signed that last extension that was going to carry him through the 2025 season. And it, by all accounts, like, okay, this was going to be kind of the last ride, right? It wasn't stated, but it was kind of just understood. Tyrann was 32 years old a season ago. There wasn't much left there. He was expected to be one of your starting safeties alongside Justin Reed, a guy he had a lot of familiarity with, and you were going to go forth into 2025 with that as your defensive backfield and feel pretty good about it if you're the New Orleans Saints. And on the day they report to training camp, this news comes down. Really, minutes or so before Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore both took to the podium to officially kind of open Saints training camp. And Mickey Loomis, when he met with the media, had this to say right off the top about Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, we had a little advance notice on that, so it wasn't like we were surprised today. I'm a little surprised, but we had some advance notice and just have so much respect for Tyrann and what he's accomplished. And, I mean, he's a legendary Louisiana player, legendary NFL player. Really appreciate his time with us. He was fantastic, and I don't have enough good things to say about him. I have a lot of good things to say about him.
I think we all do. Let's put the Saints portion of this aside just for a minute. And let's talk about Tyrann Mathieu, the player, the person, and his career. Because I think Mickey Loomis said it best. He's a legend. Like, he is a legendary Louisiana football player. He played at a high level at each level of football in Louisiana, whether it was high school at St. Aug, as you know, under-recruited coming out of St. Aug, but ends up at LSU and bursts onto the scene as a freshman in 2010. And really, look, don't get me wrong, LSU was extremely good in 2010 and 2011. But Tyrann Mathieu was as much of a part as thrusting LSU into the national spotlight in those seasons as anything. The Honey Badger. Like, there are certain plays you think of when you think of LSU, of Tyrann Mathieu's LSU career. And it wasn't just us here in Louisiana. It was nationally. Everyone tuned into every LSU football game over those 2 years, specifically 2011, to see what extraordinary play Tyrann Mathieu was going to make. Because he made an extraordinary play every damn game. He fundamentally changed games for LSU. You can think of the punt return against Arkansas, the 92-yarder. That pulled LSU even. They overcame a 14-0 deficit, and they never looked back in that game. The SEC Championship game a week later, same deal. LSU's down in that game by double digits. The defense is holding a minute, and it's Tyrann Mathieu's punt return against Georgia that really got LSU off and running in that game from a scoring standpoint. The sack fumble touchdown against Kentucky. I always go back to those Cotton Bowl in the end of the 2010 season, the diving interception. Tyrann Mathieu won the Bednarik Award for the nation's best defender. He was a Heisman Trophy finalist. You could not talk LSU football without talking about the Honey Badger and his journey up to that point. But it was at LSU where his journey gets even more complicated, but even that much more important and inspiring and interesting. We all know the off-the-field issues for Tyrann Mathieu. He's been extremely open and honest about those ever since being dismissed from the team at LSU, and the very difficult decision that Les Miles had to make to dismiss Tyrann Mathieu before his junior season when LSU was still one of the perennial contenders for a national title going into 2012. But it was what Tyrann Mathieu did after that happened, where he turned his life around, got the right people in his life, all things that he's talked about. Takes that year off out of football to really kind of do that, ends up a third-round draft pick of the Cardinals. Spends time with the Texans for a season, then goes to Kansas City, where he becomes Super Bowl champion. And returns to New Orleans, where it all began, and was a very productive player. Tyrann Mathieu, in his 3 seasons with the New Orleans Saints, logged over 220 tackles, all after 30 years old, 10 interceptions. He never lost that part of his game, that honey badger part of his game. He never lost it. In Tyrann Mathieu's first season in 2022 with the Saints, that was his most productive year from a tackle standpoint. 91 tackles that year, most of his career. Did the production wane a little bit down the stretch? Sure. But for the most part, or not for the most part, he was healthy in New Orleans. He played 17 games each of his 3 years. And while the Saints weren't a great team in any of those years, and man, that's something that definitely ate at Tyrann. You could hear it just whenever he would speak to the media, and really not just the media, in any setting, about really wanting to win in New Orleans. He gave you something to just root for no matter what every Sunday, because that's your guy. It's the hometown kid playing for the hometown team and having his most productive year doing so. He is a Louisiana football legend and forever will be. You know, a lot of people might look at Tyrann Mathieu's career in the NFL and go, oh, it was good. Like, it was solid. Longevity, won a Super Bowl, the All-Pros, the Pro Bowl is great. Everyone here is going to look at Tyrann Mathieu's career in the NFL and revere it, as you should, because it's the culmination of what was a very inspiring journey that Tyrann Mathieu went on. And we all saw it each step of the way because he was here for the ups, for the downs, and then for the culmination. And it should be revered. He's one of the greatest football players to ever come out of the state of Louisiana. He will be a Saints, up in the Saints Hall of Fame, I do believe, one day. Obviously, that's going to happen for LSU. Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, probably too. This is where Tyrann Mathieu belongs. And it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome that his career was able to end back where it all started. Not a lot of guys get that opportunity. Tyrann Mathieu did. And along the way, he supplied us with countless memories. One of the easiest guys ever to root for. And I'll tell you this, as much of a joy as it was watching Tyrann Mathieu do the extraordinary things on the football field, it was a greater and bigger joy to root for that guy every step of the way because he makes it so easy. Hats off. A major congratulations. Well-deserved retirement for the Honey Badger. And he's not going anywhere. That's a guy that's going to continue to be around at LSU. I mean, he already has. He's already donated back to the program. All of those things. You know you'll see him there. You know you'll see him around the Saints. You know, people will remember him mainly, probably really for the run in Kansas City because he was able to win the Super Bowl, but also as a Cardinal. Everyone here is going to really remember his time with New Orleans because, again, back where it all began. Congratulations to Tyrann Mathieu, man. A great career, 12 years in the league, 3-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. Just magnificent. Best of luck with what's next for him.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.